You guys have a beautiful sound to the music that you make. Do you describe yourself as sort of indie pop, indie rock, or do you not fit in a box really?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to describe, I would say, because there's like so many different genre influences that we have, like pop music, rock, hip hop, even like some jazz too. So, but I think I would call it indie pop at the end of the day, just because we're really trying to like write pop songs in an interesting way, you know? Um, so yeah, what do you think, Winter?
I agree. I mean, when my friends ask, like, oh, what genre do you guys do? I usually say indie pop rock.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Winter, who are some of the influences the two of you had when you were growing up?
Well, for me, I mean, I've been doing like musical theater since I was really little. So, like, in that sense, I'm inspired by like Bernadette Peters and Julie Andrews and, big Broadway stars like that. Um, Musically though, I listen to the Beatles. I listen to like Olivia Rodrigo. Um, he shows me a lot of good music and I listen to a lot of that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think like from the band's influences, like the way I like to describe it is like it's the Beatles, but with the last 50 years of like music. Like what would they write like if they just got together today, you know? And they were listening to like all of different like punk rock, hip hop, like all this different stuff. Um, so that's kind of like a big influence. And then also, I mean, I listen to like Tyler the Creator, a lot of different rap, and we love collabing with like different artists as well. We have a song with like Mick Jenkins and Guapdad 3000. So like it's like there's a lot of different sounds coming together, I think, on these records, which is why it has such a unique sound.
Else, I love postmodern romance in that horn section. Where did the concept for this song come from?
I think like the horn section, it really comes from like my background as a horn player. Like that's what I really started on, which was like French horn and trumpet. So like I was in the orchestra at the Juilliard Pre-College and like so I kind of have learned like, that's like my roots. And then the song is kind of about like just the difficulties of dating. And I feel like there's always like different problems, no matter like where you, like how old you are, where you're from. Like, so I'm kind of just describing like the problems today, like non-committal. Like there's always something better around the corner. So you can like really ever like commit to something and then like, the fallout from that of like just um not to being indecisive and like I feel like that's a very like pervasive issue with like dating today with like all the dating apps and everything. So it's kind of like about that concept.
Winter, I'm sure you guys have been overwhelmed with people relating to to this song. What kind of responses have people been writing you guys?
Well, actually, so a lot of my friends really love postmodern romance. Um, yeah, so like whenever they're like, "Oh, Muo Duo," like we like talk about it and they say like postmodern romance, present company, cloud end are like their top songs. So there's a lot of response with that song with my friend group as well.
Hmm. So yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people can relate.
Yeah.
Well, so you talked a little bit about your songwriting for this particular track, but do you have a formula for when you do write a song? Is there always one particular way you guys sit down and write a song?
Yeah, I mean, it really starts with like production. So that could either like come from a guitar chord progression or if I'm working with samples. I really like to like lay the groundwork of the song, and put like all the instruments together so that the vocals can really have like something good to like have a good landing platform. Um, and so the vocals and the melody definitely comes after. Um, and then once it goes into the studio, like it really, that's like when you add the spices and all the different like
Yeah, that's when I put
flavors.
my 2 cents in.
Yeah. So that's like when we really get to collaborating and like changing stuff around as well.
Yeah, which I was going to ask you how much of a hand the two of you have when it comes to the production side of the music you make as well.
Yeah, I mean, he does all the writing and everything. But once he's, you know, pretty into a song, he shows me the song and I have my opinions. I like tell him some notes and he gets pretty mad at some of my opinions. And we have a little sibling fight, but he usually takes my notes. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I love the title for this album you guys have out. Where did Miles that stem from?
It's kind of like a joke really, but I was like, yeah, like what's gonna get people's attention? Like,
What's going to get
and
us a
then
Grammy?
like, yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the real goal. But I think it's more about like, the fact that you really have to be confident as a musician, as like an indie musician, and like you really got to believe in it, or else, it's like sink or swim out here. So like you got to get the Grammy or you're screwed, So it's like that's kind of the what we're setting up with this project.
I think Winter mentioned a couple of her favorite, or at least her friend's favorite songs off this album. Miles, what are some of yours?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely like Fake Nice Girls a lot. Like, I think that one has some of the best production on the record. 20th Century Girl is like really good, like especially live because I get to play like the trumpet at the shows, and that's a lot of fun. And then I think like Exciting Times is another like one that's just like a classic that everyone likes. We always open our sets with that one, so it's just really fun.
I'm sure it's just outstanding to play these live, Miles. What can fans expect from a live Muo Duo performance?
I mean, there's always something like different in every performance, whether it's like different personnel or like different set lists. We're like even working in like brand new songs that I'm just writing now. So, you really get like an exclusive look at like what the band is looking like currently rather than just like seeing what's online. Um, Recently, like we've just been expanding the group, so we're gonna have like live drums for the first time. And so it's really just like evolving every show to the next. So like, there's something new for the fans that are coming back over and over again.
Winter, it sounds like even with Grammy Bait out, you guys are already back in the studio working on new music. You guys not even just gonna ride the wave of this wonderful album?
I mean, he just keeps on writing. I don't know how he does it. But yeah, at this new show, we had 2 new songs in it. I'd never even heard these before, and he just like surprised me right before we went on, saying, "Oh, we have 2 new songs. Just sing along if you can figure it out." And I had to like improvise, like I didn't know what was going on. It was fine, but yeah, no, he's always writing and
Such
always
a
adding.
brother thing to do. Such a brother thing to do to just surprise you at a show. And we're doing it. I'm curious, Miles, what message or is there an emotion you hope lingers with people that listen to Grammy
Mm.
Bait?
Yeah, I mean, I think the main kind of idea of the vibe is like definitely a feeling of nostalgia that you want to have. but at the same time, like that's feeling fresh, like something you've never heard before around every corner. So like every song, it's like you don't know what to expect like for the sound, which I think I like a lot about our sound, is that, each song is kind of different in its own way. And so I think like you could have definitely a lot of options when listening to our music, like happy, sad, like, nostalgic, all the emotions. So it's like, there's something for everyone on the record, I think.
What about you, Winter? What do you think it is about Grammy Bait that's just made it a fast fan favorite?
I mean, I'm a fan of the songs myself. I remember when you first played me the songs, I was like, oh, this one, this one, this one. So I've always like personally been a fan of the songs. I think they're pretty catchy. I'm humming them all the time. And I like listening to them myself because I just think they're so much fun.
Winter, what would you like to say then to everyone who are fans and supporters of Muo Duo and the beautiful music the two of you just keep dropping?
Um, I guess keep listening, keep following along. Happy you're enjoying it. What about you?
Yeah, I just think that like, for the fans that have been around, like you've kind of seen where we're going. Um, and I think that, it's going to be really worth it when we're taking it to the next level, for everybody involved. So, we got great merch and that kind of thing, and like do all these giveaways and stuff. We reply to all the comments that we can. So we love interacting with everyone and like building a community and building like a story. Yeah, and like yeah, we always like, we're not like those big artists that like don't want to say what's up. Like we're always taking pictures if you want at the concerts and everything like that. So we definitely love the fans and like hope that they enjoy what comes next.